when I first read the description for Crosby, Columbo, and I kind of thought, how bad is this going to be? Because this is a 1932 Warner Brothers cartoon with a description on IMDb that says an American Indian boy and girl sing and dance in the forest. And I kind of thought, as soon as Warner Brothers do anything with Native American characters around this time, it's often really awkward. But because these characters are our protagonists rather than the antagonists, as they often can be, it was nowhere near as bad as I thought. And the stereotypes were, yeah, I mean, there are stereotypes in it, but they're not painting the characters in a particularly negative way. And the narrative doesn't really revolve around stereotypes as such. So I think it was better than expected. I'll put it that way. This is directed by Rudolf Ising, with voices provided by Johnny Murray and the Kingsmen. And the narrative starts out quite pleasantly. We have these aforementioned boy and girl dancing with each other, having a great time. We have some of the animals dancing. There's a bear and loads of other creatures dancing and having a really great time. And then a fire breaks out. And I'd say the second half of the cartoon is all about this fire and it's spreading and the problems that it causes. And because I think they've chosen a narrative that doesn't focus on stereotypes, it's not as bad as I'd expected. So that's something that I think is worthy of praise where it's due, because I'd feared the worst. The fire is beautifully animated. There's a moment where we have little flames dancing across the screen and they're just absolutely adorable. And there is a moment where this tree is on fire and it's stripped of all of its leaves and it's got a shocked facial expression, and it reminds me of another cartoon, and I don't know if it's a Warner Brothers cartoon. It could be a Disney Silly Symphony. The dancing flames also are very reminiscent of that. If anybody knows what other cartoon I'm talking about, please let me know, because there's definitely something that may have come after this, could be before, I'm not sure, but there is certainly something that it's reminding me of. But either way, I thought it was really well animated. The characters are really likable in this. The animals look great. The backdrops are beautifully animated, and the pacing is really good as well. So no complaints from me whatsoever. I don't know if I'd ever watch it again. It's not going to become one of my favourites, but all things considered, I feared the worst, and it actually, for the time, was nowhere near as bad as I'd expected. So I guess that's a good thing. It's not too bad. The narrative is pretty decent and everything flows well. The animation quality, the design of the scenery, the backdrop, everything just looks really good. And the dancing flames, as I said, were particularly cute. If you're a fan of Warner Brothers or Rudolf Ising cartoons and you haven't seen Crosby, Columbo, and Vallee, which I should point out is the song that's in this. It's not a song that I have ever heard before, but the music in this was very good. So definitely one that I recommend if you haven't seen it. But that being said, I don't think I'd watch it a second time.